When the internet first launched, people thought it would have as little impact on our lives as fax machines. But look at this puppy go now! It has become the most used tool around the world, and it houses all of the information to keep our world moving forward. Well, some of that information is needed and has a positive influence on everything we do, and the rest is somewhat terrifying or perverted, and you should never look at it unless you want to be scarred for life. Hello again, Most Amazing Top 10 family. I'm your host, Jade Arena, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Today we are going to be Google searching with our eyes closed for our list of top 10 cursed websites you should never visit. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell, and stick around for the whole list because I'm going to be reading out some questions from my Instagram inbox. If you want to ask me a question, you can hit me up through the gram, and without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have Best Gore. This was a site that was popular when I was a kid, and it would be something that you would hear people talk about like an urban legend. It would be this fabled thing that some kid had seen or claimed they had seen. Some people said they looked at it and then they puked after. Some people would say that their parents banned them from using the computer after checking out this website. But Best Gore is exactly what it sounds like. It was videos and pictures of some of the most horrifying gore that has ever been uploaded to the internet. This is something that I highly recommend you stay away from, because once you see these images, it's nearly impossible to scrub them from your mind. You might think that you have the stomach for something like this, but the brutality displayed on this site is no joke. These videos are real, and trust me, they're nothing like the movies. Coming in number 9, we have Reples Not Us. Okay, let's move away from something that will curse you emotionally and onto something that will curse you spiritually. Reples Not Us is apparently a site that is haunted by the ghost of a girl who has the same name. The story goes that this girl was murdered in the 1800s because it was suspected that she was the child of the devil himself. She then possessed someone in this day and age so she could get them to make something that would make sure her memory would live on, and that was a creepy website. Now her spirit lives in this domain. But that's not all that it does. This website can also be used as a tool for revenge. Oh, now it's getting good. If you visit this website at the stroke of midnight, then there will be the option to type a person's name, and the ghost of this little devil girl will fly out and take care of whoever you want revenge on. But like most black magic, this comes at a cost. In exchange for taking out your competition, she will invade your dreams every night until you die. So you're basically trading every good night's sleep ever for the rest of your life for sweet, sweet revenge. You must really dislike this person. Coming in at number 8, we have Enamel.com, a somewhat interactive horror game that seems to tell the story of what's going on in a creepy mental asylum that has been abandoned. You do a tour around this place, and although there isn't any real story, the whole experience is creepy in presentation and will make you want to shut it off as soon as you start playing it. And the developer of this game really went out of their way to make sure that every inch of this thing was as creepy as possible. They decided that the loading screen of this game would be needles that poke into your skin, which makes you feel like you're being locked away in an insane asylum against your will as someone sedates you, which sounds like the most terrifying scenario of all time. Coming in at number 7, we have Death Date. This website does exactly what it sounds like. It tells you when you're going to die based on putting in a little bit of information into it. Now, while this is for sure a gimmick that was thrown on the web to scare people like a good creepypasta, there have been plenty of rumors surrounding this website, and I'm here to run through some of them with you. Some people say that this website is actually using the small amount of data that you put in to sell to companies, so they better know how to market to you. The website asks you some personal questions like what kind of stimulants you like to use, and it's suspected that this information is sold to pharmaceutical companies. Other people think that there's some sort of curse attached to this website that makes the death date that pops up a hard and fast rule. Could you imagine you speed track your own death by putting your information into some stupid website? That would suck. I am not down at all. Coming in at number 6, we have Divine Intervention. Okay, this one isn't as spooky as the previous ones, but it will definitely ruffle some feathers and is kind of offensive just for the sake of being offensive. Mind you, some of this stuff is absolutely hilarious. Divine Intervention is a site that specializes in sex toys. Okay, that's not that impressive. There's a lot of websites that want to give you the tools to make sure that your privates are pleased, so what makes this one so cursed? Well, Divine Intervention specializes in sex toys that are themed around holy symbols. Do you want a dildo that's in the shape of Jesus Christ? Well, they got that for you. Do you want some lube that has been blessed? Well, you better believe that's on the docket as well. Now, other than just being offensive to religious people, people. If there is a heaven, you better believe that St. Peter is gonna bring this up when you're being judged at the pearly gates. Yeah, you're gonna go straight to hell for this one. Coming in at number 5, we have house creep. Do you want to know where the closest murder to your home is, or are you a normal person? House creep lets you know all about the spooky homes that are close to yours. There's a wide range of places you can check out in your neighborhood that have something weird going on with them. Do you want to know which houses in your neighborhood are haunted? Check it out on House Creep, baby. Do you want to know which house in your area recently had a murder in them? Well, House Creep will give you the full lowdown. I mean, outside of being something that will make you not want to hang out at your neighbor's place, it's actually a great tool for people who are house hunting and want to find out if something terrible has happened in the home that they're looking at before they buy it. But I think this site is mostly used by people who are stimulated by creepy information. Coming in at number 4, we have the fifth nail. This is a rabbit hole you could start going down that might never end. I wouldn't want to get too deep into this because it would start with the fifth nail, and then next thing you know, I'm sitting on the couch watching murder docs until I forget how to walk. So for those of you who don't know, the fifth nail is a blog that is inadvertently written by serial killer Joseph E. Duncan. This guy is sitting in prison waiting for his death sentence to be played out, but in the meantime he's been sending letters to a blogger to keep updating a blog about his thoughts. Now there is no proof as to whether or not this is actually Duncan writing these posts, or if it's just someone trying to capitalize on a serial killer's psychotic infamy. But if it is Duncan, the mind of a serial killer can be a very strange place to get lost in, and even though the posts are limited, I don't think it would be a healthy exercise to start investigating how these people operate unless you're gonna try and stop them like Batman. If that's your motivation, then more power to you. Coming in at number 3, we have rotten.com, something that is very similar to Best Gore but ventures into every area of horrible imagery. There are complete breakdowns of how dogs poop, what poop looks like, where you can find more poop. There are Photoshop pictures of people drinking urine. There are real pictures of people drinking urine. Dead bodies. There are pictures that show the long-term effects of drug use and what people look like after they've been hit by lightning. Basically, they have every Best Gore post, plus a bunch of other bizarre things that make you wonder how on earth this stuff gets found. I mean, some of it isn't even gross, it's just strange. But that's the worst part about this website. You might get lulled into a false sense of security. You'll be reading something about dog poop and then the next thing you click on is a picture of someone with their hand cut off. Alright, coming in at number 2, we have a Ouija board. For anyone who has been checking out my content for a little while, you will know that I don't mess around with Ouija boards. In fact, I didn't even go to this website to see how cursed it was. I just read about it, and apparently the site is haunted by a dark spirit. Some other people say that everyone who has ever died has access to this site. I wonder what kind of Wi-Fi there is in the afterlife. But when you ask this Ouija board a question, it will respond with some pretty creepy answers. So if you are tired of bringing dark energy into your life with the old-fashioned store-bought Ouija board, then use this digital version so you can invite some horrors into your life that know how to use Facebook. And finally, the number 1 spot is Last Words, a page that is truly heartbreaking. This page is cursed in the sense that it will weigh heavy on your heart. Last Words is a government website that gives you a breakdown of each person's last words before they were executed on death row. It tells you their name, the crime they committed, and every last thing they said before lethal injection. You go into this knowing that people are sent to death row for a good reason, unless the legal system was wrong and convicted the wrong person, which does happen sometimes. But reading what people have to say right before they know they're going to die is hard to get through. Several of them are apologies to families that they hurt, and whether or not they really mean those words, they're still moving. And then it makes you think about the families that lost everything because of this person. The whole thing puts you in a mental state that will make it hard to get a good night's sleep. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you so much, and now I'm going to answer some questions from the Instagram inbox. This is the time. 101219 wrote in and asked, do you like cheese or sushi? And to be honest, I love them both, but if I have to go for one or the other, I think I would choose cheese. Like, sushi is great, but it's only one specific type of food. Cheese is an element of food that goes into so many different things. Like, cheese can go on pizza, it can go in sandwiches, it can go on eggs, it can go on popcorn. There's blue cheese dip for wings. There's so much you can do with cheese. Small Bean wrote in and asked, have you ever heard of a game called BioShock? Hope you're doing good. I want to say I'm doing great, thank you for asking. And yes, I have heard of BioShock. The first BioShock game is one of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely love that game. I heard that Take-Two is going to be publishing another one in the next couple years, and I'm very excited for that. And Noah Burns 101 wrote in and asked, what's your favorite breed of dog? I love all the bullies, Rotties, Mastiffs, Staffies. I can't remember what the classification for them is, but there is a name for that type of dog that have big old heads, they're droopy, drooly, they love to be cuddled, they're heavy. I have a huge soft spot for those good boys. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Jade Arena, and watch out for those spooky websites. Bye. Coming in at number 9, we have Reples Not Us. Snatas.